Hey guys, welcome back to Puffalatum, and welcome back to Café Enchanté. We had a semi-successful date with Mr. Rindo. We got back and we got a text from him being like, I would love if you stopped by again. So let's see if we go to his place again or if we just continue with the cafe. A few days pass. Oh my god, I'm so used to saying Mr. Rindo, I started saying it before I could even, oh my god. Anyways, Monsieur and the others were looking at me and kept asking if I was okay because it looked like I was acting weird. Well, today's the day I'm going to go to Mr. Rindo's house again. Hey! I felt bad having him come down to pick me up, so instead I'm taking the train and walking to his place. Okay.
Yeah, いらっしゃい.
Hello. I let out a sigh of relief as I enter Mr. Rindo's home. I have to admit, despite coming here once already, the luxurious exterior of this place is making me nervous. I couldn't even use the elevator here without getting in contact through the intercom. The lobby area even has a concierge who greets guests once inside. This place is luxury through and through. I'm just awed by the service of luxury, something I don't have in my life. Oh, 10. I'm sorry about the last time. I bend myself down to look at face to face with 10 as he jumps happily.
自分こそ酔っ払ってしまって。
タイミングバッチリだね。それじゃあ料理並べていくから、二人とも先に座ってくれるかな。
He cooked something? Oh, let me help.
いやいや、すぐだから大丈夫。
Huh. Okay. Mr. Rindo waves to me to sit down as he goes into the kitchen. Well, I guess Mr. Rindo is back to his old self again. But after what happened the last time... Well, you know, stuff kind of happened back then. I was a bit nervous as to how I should approach seeing him again, but I guess he really is an adult, considering how he already moved on from it. Mr. Rindo came back with a gorgeous meal in his hands for us to enjoy. I can assure you 10 and I are enjoying Mr. Rindo's home cooking. That was really good. Thank you very much.
至福の時間でありました。リンド、ごちそうさまであります。
よかった。大好評だったね。
Mr. Rindo lets out a huge grin as he clears the plates and sets up for tea time.
リンドのご飯は毎日食べても全く飽きないでありますな。
Oh. Hearing 10's words of praise, I glance towards Mr. Rindo.
ああ、なんだかやり始めたら楽しくなっちゃってさ。あの次の日からまた自炊をするようにしてるんだ。
Oh, good. He hasn't been eating well for all these years. Knowing that Mr. Rindo was cooking for himself again made me feel warm inside.
しかし、そのご飯も明日からもう食べられないかと思うと、
Huh? Why is that?
実は事情聴取が終わってね。急遽、てんちゃんが天崎島に帰ることが決まったんだ。
Really?
そうなのであります。それに、決まったのはつい先ほどでありまして。
Actually, that's a good question. How is he eating? Because on Amasaki Island, you can't eat anything. There's no kitchen, I'm assuming. So what's he eat? Like bugs? No wonder he doesn't want to go.
君が来る直前に部下から電話がかかってきてね。
Oh, that's quite sudden.
GPM はこういうところ結構融通きかないっていうか、お役所仕事なんだよね。
10 nods repeatedly as I sit there in disbelief.
だから今日もう一度会えてよかったのであります。
And with that, 10 runs off to the corner of the room and comes back with something in hand. 10 places in my hand a very small clay doll that looks just like him. I guess you could say it's like a mini curé.
ミニクーレイ族像であります。
It's really cute. Mini curé idol?
天崎島の粘土を使って作った商売繁盛のお守りであります。ぜひ飾ってほしいであります。
I guess I'm right when I thought it looked like a small 10. It looked cute on the counter back at Enchanté. Thank you. I'll put it to good use. Speaking of idols, that weird alien wooden figure that Mikado gave me crosses my mind. I wonder how he's doing. I haven't seen him for a while now. I guess that's not unusual considering he isn't like a regular that comes to visit Enchanté. Oh, I was wondering how Mikado is doing.
Mikado? ああ、どうしてるかな。
You haven't seen him recently either?
うん。実は最近事例が出てね。Mikado、昇進になったんだよ。
Really? That's amazing.
だよね。まああれでいてMikadoは GPM に長年貢献してるからね。それで引き継ぎとか結構バタバタしててさ、しばらく会ってないんだ。そういえば昨日あたりに新しい部署に行ったんじゃなかったかな。
I'm not sure if this has to do with his new research assignment, but I hope his research offers better results, in particular in relation to Ku. I guess Mr. Rindo and I are thinking the same thing, as I notice his sullen expression.
そうだね。あいつ、あれでも天才だし、想像もつかない研究ができるかもね。僕もいい年だからもう、あんまり希望とか期待とか持たないようにしてるんだけどね。
But what if there was a way to turn a former human back into their human form again? When that happens... Oh.
おっと、てんちゃんの迎えが来たかな。
Rindo stands up to go and answer the intercom. A uniformed man appears in the display. Mr. Rindo goes to the door to greet the GPM. Well, I guess it's time.
自分もであります。
Tense tension suddenly drops to an all-time low. I lift him up in my hands and look into his eyes. I'm sure I'll meet you again back at Amazaki Island. My parents' home is nearby, you know.
琴音殿。
Filled with emotions, Ten reaches out and embraces my cheek. The door flies open.
失礼いたします。空冷族10番の回収に参りました。
Code 10. His abrupt and cold tone made me look toward Mr. Rindo. Mr. Rindo is back in the room with a frown on his face, and then walks slowly toward 10.
お別れは済んだかい？
Yes.
大丈夫であります。
Mr. Rindo takes 10 from my hands and slowly rubs his head with his fingers. He then hands him over to the GPM.
輸送中はくれぐれも気をつけるように。彼らは繊細だからね。揺らしたり怖がるような真似はしちゃダメだよ。
は、お任せください。
Despite saying that he understands, he quickly picks 10 up and places him in a small case. Huh? You're gonna take him in that? Hearing my words, Mr. Rendo's subordinate tilts his head and looks at me bewildered.
課長、彼女は。
ああ、彼女はあのアンシャンテのマスターさ。
Nice to meet you. I nod lightly, to which his bewildered look vanishes.
ああ、あの。
彼女はこの子と仲が良くてね。今日はお別れに来ていたんだ。
え、この人外とですか？
His expression changes to that of disbelief, which brings a sharp pain to my heart. Yes, so please take good care of him.
心配無用であります。今日はとても楽しかったでありますよ。
Is he saying that in the case? Tan responds to me with a bright tone in his words. But seeing him in that case makes it really seem like he's merely some kind of specimen. Oh, can you put this in there? I take a handkerchief out from my purse. I figure it at least helped to make things comfortable and cushion him from bouncing around in there. I think it's pretty rough and cold inside of there. Mr. Rindo lets out a smile and nods in reply.
ああ、いいんじゃないかな。ということで、これは彼への選別だ。入れさせてもらうよ。
は
The subordinate frowns as if he's not sure why that's needed, but he goes ahead and places it inside. Ten happily lays the handkerchief down and lies on top of it.
これは快適でありますな。最後まで感謝ばかりであります。琴音殿。
Well, take care, Ten. The subordinate closes the lid upon seeing Ten wave farewell. He then places the case inside a large duffel bag before bidding farewell to Mr. Rindo.
では自分はこのまま天崎島へ直行いたします。休暇中失礼いたしました。
ありがとう。気をつけて。
And with that, the man quickly leaves. A few seconds pass.
驚いたかな。
No. I'm shaking my head, but I'm lying. I've never had a good impression of the GPM ever since I took over the cafe, but that was so by the books. And there was hardly any emotion there. I can see why Mr. Rindo is sort of an irregular existence in the GPM now.
うちの職員はどうにも極端なのが多くてね。人外に対して好奇心旺盛なタイプ。人外を毛嫌いするタイプ。ま、僕みたいな中庸なのは少ないかもね。今の彼は人外の起こした事故に巻き込まれて弟さんを失っているんだ。だから人外に対してよく思っていなくてね。
Seems kind of overarchingly like racist, you know? I don't think that Akure has killed his younger brother or whatever the heck. So why not just be nice to the small folks, like at the least? Like if you're gonna be just hating on everything, like you shouldn't be in this job. Like I don't know, whatever. I'm just salty. I swear to God, if that Kure goes back with a single crack on his body, I'ma punch that GPM officer. I swear to God. He lost his younger brother?
ただ珍しくはない。この前も話したけれど、人外絡みの悲劇はよくある。そういったことをきっかけに GPM に入る人も多いからさ。
Is that the same for you, Mr. Rindo? Did something ever happen to...
僕?
His response cutting my phrase makes me realize what I've just done. He already experienced tragedy with Shizuku. And now I'm delving deeper into his past over other problems he's encountered with non-humans. I choke, knowing what I've done, and I try to think of what to say.
いや、僕はどっちかというと好奇心だね。幸いにしてそういう悲劇は縁がなかった。むしろ人外に興味があったからこそ憧れて GPM に入ったんだ。
Huh? Really?
ああ、そうか。君からしたらちょっと意外かな。普段あれだけ人間と人外の違いや危険性をくどくど解いてたもんね。
He chuckles for a moment, and then his eyes dull.
帝ほどじゃないけどさ、人外のことは好きだったんだ。雫のあの一件があるまではさ。
Well, that's not non-human's fault. Shizuku turned into a non-human. That wasn't like her own accord. It wasn't because of a non-human that she did that. It's not like I can do anything. I can't help Shizuku, and I can't save Mr. Mikado. But, Mr. Rindo, do you mind if I ask more about Shizuku? There was no way I could leave him alone, especially after seeing the expression on his face. Even if it was just me being selfish. He's still a regular, and a precious customer of Enchanté. I am the owner of Enchanté, so I have the full right to be worried about his well-being.
雫のこと？この間話したことくらいしか。
Well, not about what happened, but more about who she was, like how she was as a child. I mean, of course, if you want to share, Mr. Rindo. Oh, please, don't force yourself. I was just interested to know a bit more about her.
いや、嬉しいよ。そう言ってもらえて。じゃあ少し話そうかな。君に聞いてもらえると楽になる気がするし。 今まで誰にもこんなこと話せなかったから。
Oh, really?
うん。対外的に雫は死んでいることになってるしね。
Well, that doesn't mean you stop talking about her. That makes sense. There's no way he could say she's still alive as a non-human to anyone who doesn't know about non-humans. If so, the most that the public knows would be that she's either gone missing or... But don't the people within the GPM know?
組織にとって雫の事故は不手際だからね。臭いものには蓋をしたがるのが大人なのさ。
But...
だから当事者以外には極秘事項扱いで口外も難しい。
That's fucked. Ugh.
つまりほとんどの職員は知らないんだ。帝の持っているぬいぐるみが人外だなんてことすらね。そんなわけでさ、雫について何もごまかさずに話せるのは君ぐらいだから。
He's not even counting Mikado. It's just only Kotone now.
だから、嬉しいんだ。
He lets out a gentle smile. Mr. Rindo begins to speak. Mr. Rindo calmly speaks about Shizuku over a cup of tea. He talks about Shizuku's birth and all the things she went through. He mentioned that he had a sense of obligation to protect her since they were 15 years apart. He also said that he had made a vow to become Shizuku's acting guardian after their parents passed away. Overall, he seemed a bit shy talking about all of this. He mentions how she's usually calm and a hard worker, but also easy to scare and likes to fawn over others. He states how she loves sweets too. Mr. Rindo's eyes were as gentle as ever while talking about Shizuku, but he also looked depressed. The night arrived before I knew it.
だいぶ遅くなっちゃったね。
He chuckles as he looks at the clock.
近くまで送るよ。店の前じゃなきゃ、まあ、多分燃えかすにはされないだろうし。
I couldn't immediately accept his kind offer to take me back to the cafe. The smile on Mr. Rindo's face looked forced, probably because of all the Shizuku talk. Not that me being here will help him any, but maybe staying here with him a bit longer will make him feel better. Oh, if only Mr. Rindo just asked more from me. Then again, I bet he'd simply smile like he usually does and just say he's alright. Is it okay if I stay here longer?
Huh?
Hearing my words, Mr. Rindo's eyes widen.
それはまあ構わないけど。なんでまた？
I'm not sure how to say this, but I don't want you to be alone. Mr. Rindo fixes his eyes on me. Soon he begins to frown and covers his eyes with his hand. He sighs as if he was exhaling his emotions.
あのね、琴音ちゃん。あんまりおじさんを甘やかしちゃダメだよ。
Why not? It's okay. I mean, you want to be pampered sometimes, right? I probably sound like a kid to him. My suggestion is pretty self-centered, so I assume he'd come down with his adult logic to shut me down, but instead, Mr. Rindo's face is shadowed with sorrow.
辛くなるからだよ。君の言葉が心から本当にそう思ってくれるのがわかるから、思わず揺らぎそうになる。忘れてなくしていたはずの何かがね。
He gently rubs my cheek. My heart begins to race as I feel his hand touch me, and then... I think it's for you.
やれやれ。また怖いお父さんたちかな。まったく。彼ら相手だとプライバシーも何もあったものじゃないね。
Every time. Well, they're probably not peeping on us like the last time, hopefully. Then again, they could be eavesdropping instead. I'm sure things are fine. I mean, Mazir isn't the type to do things that others don't like.
で、あれ、帝からだ。
Mikado?
もしもし、帝？
Mr. Rindo answers his phone. But...
帝、どうした？
リンド、ごめん。
What? The phone abruptly ends. What is it?
いや、それがよくわからなくて。ただ、ごめんって。
Oh god, somebody get to Mikado right now. I don't trust that shit. Is he gonna... Oh god, oh god. We look at each other as we're both confused, already forgetting the mood we were just making.
なんだろう。もしかして僕の備品でも壊したのかな？
Rindo, I don't think that's it. He called you and he was like, Rindo, I'm sorry. Like, if one of my friends did that, I'd be like, are you okay? What the fuck is happening? I would, like, drive over there. Like, Mr. Rindo jokingly speaks, but I could tell he was a bit worried. Should we go over there? Okay, we're going into Rindo's perspective. I glance at her, sitting in the passenger seat. I ended up taking her back to Enchanté after that weird call from Mikado. She was very compliant when I asked her to leave since I had things to do tomorrow. To be honest, I'm a bit relieved she obliged, but also a bit disappointed that she did too. I'm not sure what struck me back then when she said what she said earlier. If Mikado didn't call me back then, what would I have done? I need to stay calm and stay focused on the present. But...
もう少しだけ。
I coughed to try and stop myself from completing the sentence. I wonder what my dear passenger is thinking as all of this is happening. Oh, and now we're in Kotone's perspective.
琴音ちゃん。
Yes? My voice comes out awkwardly as he catches me in the middle of a daydream.
あ、ひょっとしてうとうとしてた？
Oh, no. I was just, thinking. So, what is it?
うん、いや、ダッシュボードに飴があるから、よかったらどうぞって。
Oh, I see. Thank you very much. I don't have any reason to refuse his offer, so I reach out to... Mr. Rindo's smartphone is ringing again. The name that appeared on the screen is... It doesn't look like it's from Mikado.
僕の部下だね。一応僕は有給のはずなんだけど、まあ何かしらあったのかな。
This reminds me of how I never really have a day off with everyone always bothering me. Mr. Rindo chuckles. He must be remembering back when I first came to Enchanté.
とりあえず出ないとね。スピーカーモードにしてもらっていいかな。
Sure. I don't want whoever to think that their boss is out with a girl. That could lead to a lot of problems. I better keep quiet and hold my breath. I answered the call with speakerphone on.
もしもし、リンド。
課長、リンド課長ですか？
Oh god. I gasp as I hear a voice of someone in desperation. I can hear screaming coming from the background. Then gunshots.
課長、助け！
Oh god. The call abruptly ends before he could finish his sentence. Mr. Rindo's expression stiffens.
すぐにかけ直して。
Yes! I hurriedly press on the redial icon to no avail. What should we do?
そうだ、帝。あいつの電話が気になる。帝に。
Okay, got it. I tried calling him from the number that was on the history list, but the only thing we hear is the repeating of the dial tone. There's no doubt that something terrible is going on at the GPM. Mr. Rindo, we should head to the GPM headquarters right away.
ああ、わかってる。だけど君をアンシャンテに降ろしてからだ。
But Enchanté is miles out of the way. They probably need you now.
それは。
I'll wait in the car and call Mazir and the gang, so don't worry about me. I'll be fine once they join us. I reason as best I can with Mr. Rindo, who silently nods with a stern look on his face.
わかった、行こう。
Yeah, call him Azir right now. Be like, help! Something horrible is happening! I don't know what's happening! Oh god, I'm so afraid. Oh god, Mikado, what have you done? Oh god, we're gonna stop here. Oh, every time. God, Mikado, what did you do? Why would he apologize if he didn't do something, you know? Oh god, I'm so afraid. What if, like... Oh, I don't know. Either, like, what my predictions are right now is either Kuchan went crazy again, somehow, which would be weird, I think. Or Mikado, like, turned into a non-human or something and went, like, berserk or something like that so that he could be with Kuchan, like, in the only way that, since she can't, like, become a human again. I don't know. That would be so fucked up. Oh my god, I would scream. Okay. Next episode, we're gonna find out what happened. Oh god, please let everyone be okay. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of trigger warnings. Oh lord.